So, hello everyone, and let's continue with our smart city course. So, today in continuation to our previous discussion, so just want to bring you some global smart city framework that we have it. You can see here what are the international approaches or the standards, and how to understand these models worldwide, which are maybe successful for smart city development. So, let us see some of the we have seen lot of things like how the smart cities urban evolution or what are the key components in the previous discussions. So, if you see here this international framework and standards guiding the global smart city development. Different regions they approach smart cities differently, like if you see Europe, it emphasizes on sustainability and participation, and whereas Asia it focuses on efficiency and technology adoption, and then African they prioritize mobile first solution kind of stuff. Latin America it's mostly social inclusion. So, understanding these diverse approaches is very crucial, because as they reflect legitimate regional context. So, let us see some of the frameworks provided, like standards or methodologies enabling the cities to learn from each other, that is best practices, and we can examine frameworks from UN or like EU or Asian initiatives and African networks. And then some kind of corporate players also we have like Cisco, etc. And by understanding this global context, so you will be better prepared to adopt this framework to your local context. So, that is what we are going to discuss in today's class. Okay. So, see this framework, smart city framework, it provides standard approach, principles and methodologies for technology driven urban solutions, right. So, this framework it serves as 4 functions. You can see here, one is like policy guidelines, then technical standards, implementation strategies and evaluation metrics. Everything has to be evaluated. So, they prevent cities from reinventing again the wheel, right, like developing the solutions others already solved, right, like, or without framework cities face incompatibility issues where technology cannot communicate, right. So, with the framework cities implement faster and it can learn from each other, and then it also enable like knowledge sharing among the global cities, allowing successful approach to be replicated or scaled and can be adopted with some kind of changes based upon the local socio-cultural aspects also. So, this can create a coordinated global urban development rather than chaotic approach or something like that. So, this framework democratize smart city knowledge, making it as a best practice which is available to the cities regardless of whatever the kind of sources. So, let me show you some frameworks how they have been evolved through 3 different generations. The first one, like if I see from 2000 to 2010, that first decade, where like it was basically technology centric and which was focusing on ICT deployment and sensor developments, etc. And success was measured here in terms of technology metrics, like what kind of sensors and data collection and systems updated, etc. This generation it was actually I feel like neglected some socio governance and environmental dimension, and then second one and the second decade like 2010 2010 to almost like 2018 or 2022 I can say, it became basically holistic, and it was trying to address sustainability aspects, citizen participation and also concerns of the basic environmental issues also. And this framework like we had like some ISO certifications and some standards, EU standards they emerged emphasizing comprehensive measurement, like some sort of metrics also started coming. And then the third generation which is like 2020 to present. Okay, so how it has been evolved, it's basically people centric in the sense like prioritizing human well-being, like we have like health indexes, happiness indexes of the cities, etc., right? And then there is like equity, resilience, etc. And so each generation, if you see here, each decade it learned from predecessor, and this is an evolution in terms of like shows that technology is important, it is very much important, necessary, but insufficient also, because human and social dimensions are very, very important along with this technology. So that aspect is something which we have to look into that. So first generation, as I said, digital infrastructure, then second one integrated with a system, maybe sustainability also considered, and then third one is basically human centric. So in UN there is a framework, global framework, UN nations ka. So this is actually UN Habitat new urban agenda, which has came in sometime in 2016 and adopted by almost 190 countries. So all nations worldwide which are taking this. So it provides a shared framework for sustainable urban development, affecting like billions of residents in urban centers. So it builds on these are 5 pillars. Okay, so one is like national urban policies, then urban legislation, then urban planning and design, and then local economy and finance, and then local implementation. So it emphasizes like well planned urbanization using technology and for sustainable development. So kind of considering all aspects. So linking the smart city to a broader sustainable development, and also establishes that the smart city development isn't a separate trend, but it's an integral component of a global development. If every city becomes smart and very sustainable, like we can achieve that overall globally also there is a development, right? So this positioning elevates the smart cities from optional innovation to essential strategy for every country. Almost, as I said, like 193 country adoption represent unprecedented global consensus. So this has been released, this guideline has been released in 2025, that means very, very recent. It's an international guideline on people-centered smart cities. So which is the latest global smart city thinking philosophy, like smart cities for people, basically is people centric, as I said, empowering their life and protecting the planet, like bringing some sustainable concepts, advancing the prosperity, like there should be economic development also. So technology must serve for betterment or human welfare, and it should not be reverse case, right? So these are the 4 core principles, like there is a shared prosperity, shared prosperity, and it should be sustainability, resilience, and then community participation, you can see here, which is very, very important. And then there is a human rights and inclusion, that is equitable access to the people, so people centric. So over 150 cities they are implementing within 5 years, and then second global consensus, rapid adoption demonstrate that recognition that smart cities must priority human welfare alongside technology, and then which represents a global maturity, understanding that technology is powerful but neutral also. Our choices determine whether it empowers or not. So these are the things which I was discussing as a key enablers, and it span like governance, technology, finance, human dimension. So where like there is a participatory structure, and then regulatory framework, interdepartmental coordination, which I mentioned in the previous class, and then a lot of technology enablers like universal broadbands, open data, cyber security, then finance enablers, innovative mechanisms, long term commitments, human enablers like digital literacy among the users, inclusive employment, and then critical insights, like most enablers are not technological, like governance, finance, human factor, they may dominate. Many cities they fail because the focus only on technology while neglecting the other crucial dimensions. So, that's one has to be, it is not like you build something some ICT or some kind of system, but people are not able to use it and it is not a successful, right. So, success requires very balanced attention across all the dimensions which we have been discussing. Technology is just only one piece in the puzzle and all dimensions must align for its success. Let us see EU Smart City Framework, European Union Smart City Framework, European Innovation Partnership on Smart Cities Communities. There is a document, okay, EIP-SCC, so which represents Europe's sophisticated approach, and there are three interconnected pillars here. People centric cities, that is how the quality of the life in that particular city, sustainable energy and environment, like climate neutrality actually by 2050 we know that, economic prosperity, and then innovation ecosystem. So, all the three things. So, what differentiates European framework is its integrated approach, all pillars. So, not pursuing the sustainability without prosperity or vice versa. So, this framework, it demands balance among all dimensions, and it also features includes like smart city clusters, demonstration projects, knowledge sharing forums, innovative or procurement. So, which shows that framework ensures very comprehensive approach addressing multiple dimensions simultaneously. So, let us see this our standards, ISO fundamental standards 37120, sustainable cities and communities. So, indicators like it provides 100 indicators for measuring city performance, like which has comprises almost 46 core indicators which are very essential, like a baseline, and 54 supporting indicators which are like comprehensive assessment of this is also important, and it measures across 12 plus categories, like considering economy, education, energy, environment, finance, governance, health, safety, shelter, transportation, waste, water, and many other factors. So, adopted by 400 plus cities worldwide, and it enables meaningful integration comparison and like understanding how cities energy efficiency compares to other peer cities, and benefits include identifying improvement areas like learning from best performers, etc., tracking progress, enabling some evidence based decisions, then transform subjective impressions into objective measurements. So, then Asian Cities Smart City Network, it's established in 2018. So, includes 26 pilot cities across 10 different countries. It's basically focused digital connectivity, urban innovation labs, data sharing, capacity building, and then China's there is a national smart city pilot program which includes 500 plus cities with more than 160 plus billion investment. So, which is focusing IoT integration, big data analytics, AI deployment. I have seen very recently in one of my visit. So, massive investment reflects like recognition that rapid urbanization requires rapid infrastructure advancement. So, which is very crucial in smart city development, and the Asian approach contrasts with European emphasis on sustainability instead of emphasizing rapid deployment, operational efficiency, large scale coordination, because our population size is much bigger. So, this reflects development stage where infrastructure deficits more urgent than environmental optimization, and then different regional contexts produce different but equally valid approaches also. So, let us see this China Smart City pilot program, as I said, like 500 cities, IoT, big data, AI deployment infrastructure. So, this is a schematic representation how they could develop this one. It is very effective system as of now in Asian cities. let's see the African Smart City Initiative or the framework. It's a unique context, okay, so where like they are developing infrastructure with a limited budget, high mobile penetration, rapid urbanization, but key characteristics in this one is like mobile first solution, like smartphone penetrate faster than the fixed line, and digital inclusion focuses like bridging divides, infrastructure priority like basic services, and local innovation, that is community driven solutions. We had some example like 4G Lagos, which is a traffic management system, digital payment system they had. In Cape Town, like there is a lot of digital governance, water management and mobile first approaches. So, which has been pioneered in Africa increasingly, which is influencing the global development also. So, this shows like African innovation isn't copying Western models, but they are developing their context appropriate solutions, which has been regional specific. So, it also demonstrates smart city solutions are not just one size fit for all, like it actually should be tailored based upon the local conditions, cultural, economic and other aspects also. Next one is a Latin American framework. So, it reflects regional challenges like rapid urbanization, severe traffic congestion, the social inequality, and then the primary focus is like urban mobility, addressing megacity congestions. So, like bus rapid transit systems, they use smart management, dedicated lanes, real time tracking, integrated ticketing system. So, beyond mobility like energy efficiency through smart grids and renewables also, and digital governance emphasizing democratic participation and also participatory budgeting. Okay, so that is regional cooperation, facilitating knowledge sharing, etc. So, examples we have like Medellin, like we had innovation leader, and then something like Mexico City, that is a mega city management system. So, these are the frameworks which was emphasizing democracy and social inclusion, environmental responsibility, which is balancing technology advance with a human dignity. So, this framework adapted to region specific challenge also. So, that is about the Latin American part. So, let me show you something like Cisco's vision. Okay. So, what they have done is like a system, it is a systemic process for enabling smart and connected communities, smart plus connected communities. So, it addresses three challenges. One is like population growth, because we know that 50% plus population, the urbanization, creating infrastructure, lot of pressure on this infrastructure. Economic polarization, like 600 large cities are contributing 65% of the global growth, and resource constraints, because we have limited resources with this concentrated population, and the framework components like connecting like infrastructure like foundation, fiber, wireless, broadbands, and then data analytics, which has to be do like real time processing, prediction, some kind of AI models, etc. Citizen engagement like digital platforms, participation like two-way communication kind of systems, service integration, these are the connected systems, and phase development like phase 1 first foundation connectivity, then phase 2 integrating these systems, then phase 3 optimization with the data analytics, then phase 4 lot of innovation. This is like in this approach you don't need perfect technology everywhere. Okay, so just trying to compile all the best practices comparison with what are the examples, what are the characteristics, and what are the strength of each approach, like European approach, North American, Asia Pacific approach, and also the global south approach. So, different regions emphasizing different dimensions, as I said previously also. Like Europe is basically on sustainability, Asia is basically on efficiency, right, and North America it leverages innovation ecosystem, like, and similarly African approach also. So, we have like different adoption or this approaches adapt appropriate elements which can cater to their local context. So, which is very crucial for understanding the smart cities thing. So, regional best practices comparison, if you see here from Europe, North America, Asia Pacific, like how they evolved considering their own requirements, starting from sustainability to basically more effective models. So let's see this technology integration framework part. So this is the smart city integration framework. We have different layers, like starting from IoT part of it, like we have sensor systems, connecting them to the network, big data analytics, and of course a lot of cyber security frameworks are also required, because this is a it's all network, data security and data management, and all these things has to be taken care for operational issues, and also for governance also, like we have to have some kind of audit mechanisms, etc. So this is the financing and the governance model, like we are coming up with a lot of PPP models in developing some infrastructure, like design, build, finance, operate. Like private sectors are coming forward to handle very full scale projects, and also we also have this BOT system, build, operate, transfer model, where like the companies they build it, they operate it, and some metros we already have this kind of models, and which are effective also, and joint ventures, and then innovative financing mechanisms, like we have like a lot of bonds, smart city bonds, like municipal bonds for technology projects, outcome based contracts, crowdfunding, which is coming up largely, and then governance models, like some people are even giving this CSR funds, etc. Multi-level governance, like national, regional, local coordination, cross-sectional sectorial partnerships, like governments, some private companies, and also some civil societies, and citizen co-governance, like where participating people, participation in crucial decisions, and then regional cooperation, like city networks, knowledge sharing, and all these platforms. So this is some of the finance and the governance models which are considered to be best. And implementation challenges and what are the solutions, like what are the challenges, technological solution challenges, financial challenges, and sometimes even the social challenges also, institutional barriers, and what was the solution for each one of that. So if you see the technology part of it, so we need to have that, that's a kind of interoperability, like connecting different systems and platforms, because different standards are there, and protecting this sometimes some sensitive information, and scalability is something very, very crucial as well. In financial constraints, like initially there will be a lot of money required, capital cost, so uncertain ROIs and difficult to maintain, and funding limitations, initially public funds may be limited with limited resources, and risk allocation. Then institutional framework, some kinds of governance structures, capacity limitations, and also some change resistance, etc. And solution framework, if you look at it, like national and international interoperability standards, it has to be balanced. Capacity building, phased implementation should not happen like once in a while. So let's go in phase 1, phase 2, which our smart cities also are developing now. And multi stakeholder engagement, this is one of the very crucial in effective smart city planning and its implementation. So what are the future trends and what are the emerging technologies? Next generation AI integration, it's coming in every aspect, right? Most of us, every small device we have some sort of some level of AI which is predicting some analytics, automating some of our decisions, and giving some personalized services, pattern recognitions, right? So all these things are coming up. Digital twin cities, actually this is something very, very crucial. We have to integrate all the layers, like our physical infrastructure with different services. So we should have that kind of models, digital twin cities, where virtually the people can see, and also some scenarios can be planned, like some disaster happened, something like a fire. Okay, we have seen some kind of blast in Delhi, right, recently. So some kind of such kind of, in case of any such disasters happened, we can have planned that scenarios also. And if you want to do some kind of predictive maintenance or managing such kind of problems, that can be taken care by doing some simulations, because we have already the virtual model into it. Then 5G and beyond, like for doing all that we need ultra high speed internet services, massive IoT, connecting different devices and the sensors together, and then lot of computing requirement, and of course AR, augmented reality, which can enhance the interaction between the citizens with the city services. Then blockchain applications, digital identity, then smart contracts, transparent governance, and peer-to-peer service like decentralized city service models, etc. So these are some of the future trends. So the same thing just in a pictorial way, like we have AI ML computing, innovation, blockchain part of it, and lot of decisions through artificial intelligence. So just one more important point, like we had COVID-19 impact on many in different aspects. Let's see what is a post-pandemic city, smart city evolution that happened after COVID-19. A lot of things happened in healthcare, like accelerated, digital adoption happened remotely. People started working from their homes, and services have become more digital services. If you order something, you get it in immediately. And the smart healthcare, as I said, like people started contacting doctors, remotely. And that means like mostly resilience focused, like public health infrastructure, supply chain resilience, social support systems, and the economic recovery. And then in the priorities, so 15-minute cities, that means like local access to essential services like green recovery, sustainable infrastructure. People understood now, like rather than staying within the cities after COVID-19, people have in a mindset like let's go little away from the city. If you have proper infrastructure, road infrastructure, so let's stay little away and then commute from your place. Okay, so then community resilience, like strengthening local social networks. And then what are the lessons we learned? Like one very important lesson is the collaboration between cross-sector partnerships are very essential, especially in such kind of crisis response. And technology as enabler, like digital tools, they support, but they cannot replace human connections. And equity imperative are the some kind of rapid changes that's happening to the system. So this was technical or interoperability framework. We have it like what are the different standard catalogs or categories. So communication protocols, and then global standards, and then implementation challenges, like in terms of vendor lock-in or cost considerations, etc. And then benefits of interoperability. So which is like one of the major things is like costing, future proofing, like flexibility for evolving the urban needs, and innovation support, improved better services to the user. So knowledge sharing and city networks. So what are the major networks? So there is a C40, City Climate Leadership Groups, 97 cities, and then climate actions in focus. So like mostly 70% of these populations, they are represented in United Cities and local governance, UCLG. Global Smart City Alliance, like where World Economic Forum initiatives have been already in place. So knowledge sharing mechanism, like learning from best practices or anything documented, case studies, and then expert support in any kind of projects, joint procurement, collaborating for purchasing, and so that it is mutual benefit. Lot of training, capacity building, online courses, mentorship programs, research partnerships has come up. And then successful factors like trust building and practical focus, like working on some practical problems, also resource sharing and regular interaction among communication and collaborations have improved. Finally, as a conclusion, global smart city framework. So these were some of the takeaways, like convergence trends, like people centric approach. As I said, the shift from technology driven to citizen centric, citizen focused development, and then integrating with sustainability or environmental concepts, multi stakeholder collaboration. So everyone has, like it's not like a single actor can create smart cities alone. So it should be multi stakeholder, continuous evolution in phases, as I said already, and factors, success factors, strong governance, participation of the citizens or the residents, financial sustainability, technical interoperability, capacity building. So, these were some of the success factors. And if you look at the future, AI integration, climate resilience, digital sovereignty, circular economy and social innovation. So, these are the 5 different future directions wherein you can understand how we can also adapt to these global frameworks for its unique context, local context and then local challenges to make it as a successful. So, thank you so much.